Hey there, my name is Chris, and for the Quickbase hackathon, I put together an app called SocialQB, specifically going after the connection theme. Now, the motivation for this project is simple. In particular with the pandemic, it can be hard outside of work for folks to network, meet new friends, and SocialQB is a Quickbase app to help you organize events and allow your employees to connect and form relationships outside of work. Additionally, it's hard to track engagement and activity around those events. Like, when is the right time to host an event? How often? If you're a manager, it can be tough to make those data-driven decisions when you aren't actually tracking anything in a singular location. And lastly, when everyone was remote, you don't really have those water cooler conversations that used to happen in the office. With this app, you can use it to help you coordinate events so those conversations can still happen. So how is the app built? There's a few core tables, which I'm going to show in a few minutes here. In particular, there's a many-to-many relationship between the events that you can create and the employees in your system. And in particular, that's mediated by these attending or attendees entries. And you can add new event types or reports anytime to the system. More importantly, attendees to these events don't need to be Quickbase users. They can simply be imported or pulled in from another external system. And whenever you're inviting or changing the scheduling of events or removing people from events, email notifications fire off automatically for any of those changes. So you don't need to manage any of that behavior. Whenever an admin comes in and makes changes to an event, those email notifications will fire based on Quickbase rules. So what does this app look like? So I have my own demo Quickbase account, and the app is called SocialQB. I'm going to start by showing this dashboard, but I'll come back to this actually. And I'll instead show the structure of the app, what are the core elements, and how does that connect back to event management. So the system itself is pretty straightforward. There's a few core tables: event types, events, employees, and attendees. Attendees being the main table that controls the main-to-many relationship between employees and events, because events can have many employees, but also employees can be associated with many events. Whenever a new entry is added, there's these three hooks that go off that fire for added, modified, and deleted whenever you add a new attendee to an existing event. Now I'm going to walk through the creation process very simply by returning to that admin dashboard. So in SocialQB, there's an administrator, and this could be a core HR or marketing function, and that user can invite any number of marketing agents to the app to be able to control events. In this particular case, I have one event that's already set up, and there's a simple form that they would use to set up that event. I'm just going to invite a new attendee to that event and demo how that works. In this system, you can upload any number of employees, and this is what I was linking to with the CSV. Chris B, already in the system. I'm going to go ahead and connect him to that happy hour event, save that event. And if I wait a few moments and hop over to my email here, you can see an email already went out with the details about the event. In particular, I have a happy hour at midnight, but whenever this event changes, and in particular if I was later removed from that event, corresponding notification would also go out to the attendee automatically behind the scenes. Lastly, you can export all the events and all your information that happens over time. So if you had 20 events, 30 events, all these users essentially are connected through the attendees table. And if you click manage attendees, you can more or less search for the event that's pertinent to you. In this case, I only have 2 events, but you can find essentially a manifest of all the attendees since day one of using SocialQB and be able to report and track on performance of your different events, as well as which event types are successful and which ones are not. So what's some future work? Improve reporting and new event recommendations based on previously hosted events and gathering. We want to add automation to selecting employees and creating activities. This is sort of adding an AI component to this application. Some advanced role and access splitting. Right now it's really dependent on an admin user controlling the invites and who gets invited to different events. But later you could split that up into different organizations of sub-departments. And lastly, we want to add additional integrations to connect other tracking and analytics platforms. For example, fully virtual event integrations could be useful for this app as part of its offering. So that's pretty much the SocialQB app, and thanks for your time.